people see your success, purchase your albums, attend your workshops, wear your name brand clothing, and give to your charity. But how many people know your personal struggle, understand your true purpose, or even see the hard work and dedication you put into your passion? It's time to go beyond the obvious and reveal the unseen. I am Carletta McMillian, and this is Beyond Revealed. Hello, my name is Carletta McMillian, and thank you for tuning in to another show of Beyond Revealed. Today, I am sitting with my special guest, Miss Ebony Moore. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing well. I feel like we're already friends.
Yes, I feel that way too.
I've just met her about maybe 5 minutes ago, and you are so beautiful. I just want to say that, and thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. Now, you're the founder, CEO of Grady-Moore Foundation.
That's correct.
Tell me about the program.
I'm actually the founder and CEO with my partner, Donald Grady.
Okay.
We came together and we actually started the Grady-Moore Foundation, Inc. And what we did was we took our talents. My talent is, my background is teaching etiquette and social skills. And his background is teaching water safety skills, swim lessons, lifeguard training, things of that nature. And we took both of our ideas together and we started the Grady-Moore Foundation, Inc. with the hopes of exposing inner city youth to non-traditional sports like swimming and, of course, social skills.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, with Miss Ebony, which you're known by, I know you talk about etiquette classes.
That's
you
correct.
have the white gloves.
And party manners.
And one more.
And I also have Diva Day Camp for girls.
Yes.
Yes.
All three of those. Go at it.
Okay. Well, I think it's important to kind of give you a little background about Miss Ebony and how I became Miss Ebony. I was raised traditionally by my grandmother, and she always called me Miss Ebony from like the time I was like 3 or 4. She always called me Miss Ebony.
That wasn't weird for you?
No, it wasn't, because she was always about empowering me as a young black girl, and that's something that we don't generally do for our kids a lot of times, or we don't know how to do, and my grandmother was very good at doing that. So she actually branded me a long time ago.
I like that.
By naming me Miss Ebony, and because I was Miss Ebony, it was a level of standards that she set for me very high, very early. So therefore, I had to sit up straight. You know, I had to make sure that I was speaking correctly. You know, she taught me how to cross my legs, how to put my gloves on, how to take them off, and things that she didn't know, she would take me to classes. Like, I would be like the only African-American little girl in these little classes, like that she would drive me over in the South Park area. I am a native of Charlotte, and I'm actually from Beatty's Ford Road.
All right.
So she would take me over to like South Park to learn these manners, etiquette, of the things that she couldn't teach me or probably didn't really have time to teach me. From that kind of became my mission, and I didn't realize that. I would go to these classes and I would come back to my neighborhood and I would teach my friends what I learned. So I started mentoring my friends very early, around 7 or 8, just all these little things that I learned. And so I actually set a standard for myself very early. We're talking about elementary school, whereas I carried myself differently than any of my other peers. And I was recognized for that, not just because I was very tall, but because I was very articulate. I had a lot of self-esteem. I was really good with myself and who I was. And that kind of began Miss Ebony. I started mentoring my friends in college just about social skills. And it kind of, from that point, just kind of evolved. And I started a business from it. And I really feel like it was what God wanted me to do because it just came so natural for me. And that's just kind of like a little bit of background about Miss Ebony. And from that point, when I started teaching, when I started working for the YMCA, YWCA, anything that I did, I always made sure I had time for etiquette, meaning I would teach etiquette classes. I started volunteering doing it, just to like Boys and Girls Club, Girl Scouts, things like that. And then I created a business. I created Miss Ebony School of Etiquette. And it was actually originally a for-profit, but I was doing non-profit work, which is why when I met Mr. Grady, we decided to mesh our ideas, and we applied for the 501, and we became a non-profit. So since that point, I have started Diva Day Camp for Girls, which is a summer enrichment camp, which we have actually offered in CMS schools.
How is that, what does it consist of?
Yeah, it's awesome. Actually, what we do is we have 8 to 10 themed weeks. So for instance, one week may be about self-esteem. 1 week may be about learning other cultures. 1 week may be about entrepreneurship. 1 week may be about culinary arts. We have all different themed weeks. The nucleus is etiquette. So the girls are learning how to be young ladies all summer long. But we're introducing them to different just different backgrounds, you know, it's all about exposure. And it's all about really making sure that our girls see other all kinds of things. And that's kind of the premise of Diva Day Camp. But it's also about empowering girls for the future. So what we do, we have, of course, it's for girls, so our staff is all women. And we always bring in powerful women from the community where they can learn from. Yeah.
Now, I know you said it does tie into the Grady-Moore.
Yes.
With him being involved, is it a boy side to all of this?
Well, we're thinking about that. That right now we're in the process of putting together a male component.
Okay.
But right now what we want to do is empower our girls through water safety. Because a lot of times people say that African American girls don't swim. You know, they don't want to get their hair wet. They don't want to do this, they don't want to do that. But it's not only about getting your hair wet, it's about, number one, saving your life. Number two, creating a job for you. Because I was a lifeguard since I was 15.
Wow.
And a lot of people don't realize I always made more money than all my peers did. Because, you know, lifeguards make a little bit more money than everybody else does. So it's about not only exposing the girls to water, it's about also health and fitness. That's going to be our health and fitness component all summer. It's going to be swimming and tennis. We're using all non-traditional sports.
Cool.
And because, again, it's about exposure.
Yes.
And then also it's about hopefully sparking the interest of maybe some of the girls to become lifeguards, you know, so that too.
All right, so I know we talked about your grandmother being a part of your life.
Yes.
And helping you through this.
Yes.
Your parents.
Yes.
You know, how did they influence you growing up?
My story is interesting, but it's not unheard of. Where my parents were not really active with me initially growing up. My father was incarcerated for for a large part of my life when I was growing up. And my mother was always a part of my life, but she just didn't raise me.
Okay.
So they influenced me in their own ways. I don't think they probably think that, but they did. I went through a period where I was a little angry at them because traditionally they just weren't there. Not saying I didn't have everything that I needed. And my grandmother is everything to me. But it was times where I yearned for my mother and my father, which is also a part of why I started Miss Ebony's, because a lot of the girls who I work with, they come from untraditional homes. Aunties, uncles, grandmas, someone else is raising them outside of their biological parents, and I can relate to that. I really can relate to that. So that's another reason why I kind of created Miss Ebony's, because when I see the girls that I work with, they're a direct reflection of me. So yeah, my parents, they weren't really hands-on with me growing up, but they have definitely influenced me. And now we're like, I feel really blessed because I have my grandmother, I have my mother, I have my father, I have my great-grandmother. So all these people are help shaping who I am today and really continuing to kind of fuel my fire to be able to offer these programs to the girls out in the community.
Outside of helping the girls, how are you guys going out? Because you mentioned about the workshops. You know, tell me about the workshops and what else are you doing to influence the community overall? A
lot of times people will call me in for motivational speaking because I've been told I'm a powerful speaker.
Yes, you are.
Thank you. I speak from the heart. And again, I think the reason why I connect with others well is because they can see themselves in me. So I'm often called out to do workshops just about general self-esteem, of course, etiquette, and then just about entrepreneurship, because we really push entrepreneurship. It's funny because my niece who you met earlier, she, this morning when I was getting dressed, she said she wanted to be a singer, a doctor, a lawyer, a teacher, and all these things. And I said, but I think you need to be an entrepreneur. So that's something that we teach is entrepreneurship. Because at the end of the day, a degree is wonderful. A master's degree is even better. A PhD is the best. But owning your own business is nothing like that. And that's what we have to teach our kids so that we can sustain in our community. So that's really what they call me out to do, entrepreneurship and social skills.
Decorate your driveway this holiday season with a new 2014 Mazda CX-5 from Mazda, South Charlotte. Everything about the new Mazda CX-5 is cutting edge. The performance, the technology, the good looks, and it gets 35 mpg highway. But the best part is the Mazda of South Charlotte price, $21,395. No wonder we're the #1 Mazda dealer in Charlotte. This holiday season, Mazda of South Charlotte's giving you the presents. The new Mazda CX-5, $21,395. Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays.
You are beautiful and tall.
Thank you.
Did you ever want to go into the modeling?
Yes. Well, I have modeled. I've been modeling since I was about 9 years old. A lot of runway, not a lot of print. But I felt very awkward growing up. I never felt pretty.
Really?
I know my grandmother always told me I was pretty, but I never really felt pretty. I didn't really come into myself probably until maybe around 7th or 8th grade, because I was like, I had this huge growth spur. So I was like 6 feet in like the 8th grade.
I have to stop you for a second.
Okay.
Because you said that you went to your friends and you were influencing them in a positive way, but you weren't comfortable with yourself. How does that work?
I wasn't. I've always been very good with words, and part of my gift is being able to empower others. So even when I wasn't empowered myself, I could always empower others. Now I know I'm beautiful. I know I'm worthy. I know all these things about myself. So my empowerment is even like the 10th power. But just then, that was my little secret. I wasn't as confident as people thought that I was. But I was always able to empower others. But once I got it, I got it. So part of my goal is to make sure you get it early. I want you to get it like at my niece's age at 7. I want you to get it. So Miss Ebony's Angels is a modeling troupe.
Okay.
And the modeling troupe, what we do, and we've been doing the Angels since about 2005. We've taken a break and we're getting ready to reconvene because I have all these parents like, okay, so what you gonna do? You gonna just leave us hanging? I'm like, I know. So the modeling troupe is not about being America's Next Top Model. Now, I have some girls and guys who could definitely be America's Next Top Model. But I created the modeling troupe to increase self-esteem. I created the modeling troupe to be able to stand in front of people and present yourself positively, to be able to speak articulately, to be able to carry yourself with your shoulders back and your head up no matter what size you are, no matter what color you are, no matter if your hair is natural, straight, kinky, no matter. That is what the modeling troupe is about. It's about raising self-esteem. So I get these kids ready, I get them runway ready, and we do fashion shows. And we have opened up for a Target store, a brand new Target store that opened up on Ray Road. We did the grand opening for that. My kids have been in CIAA. My kids have done a whole lot of things. They've traveled to different universities, Winston-Salem State. They were the only teen modeling troupe there. So they've done a lot. And we're going to pick it back up and start that all over again.
You're also the Steve Harvey nominee for the Best Community Leader.
Yes.
How did all that play out?
Wow, that was a phenomenal year for me, 2008. That year I received an award from Phi Beta Sigma for something in the community. I'm sorry to my frat brothers, but they gave me an award that year. And then I was a finalist for the Steve Harvey Hoodie Award for Best Community Leader.
That's big.
It was huge. When I got nominated, some of my students did it. And then the day of the actual voting, it was like all day long. They were like, I was in the lead. So when the radio went off at like 6, when they stopped talking about, not the radio went off, when they stopped talking about it, I had fallen all the way down to like number 5. So I really didn't expect to.
That's still an accomplishment.
Yeah, but I didn't expect it. So like 2 days later, I'm in the car with Granny, and the lady calls, and I missed the call. So I was like, somebody called me from Atlanta, but it was not a name attached to the number.
Okay.
So I called back, and it was like the recording for the Steve Harvey show, and I just started screaming. I was like, So anyways, yes, I was a finalist. Myself, a magnificent young lady from Atlanta, a gentleman from Detroit, and a young lady from the Michigan area as well. And just that experience alone, just going into that, it wasn't about winning.
Yeah.
It was about representing, my region, representing all the young ladies who I stand before all the time, who I stand for all the time. And I didn't win. Raphael won, which he was well-deserved. I think he came the year before. And for me, it was just like exposure. I met so many people, and just representing Charlotte. Charlotte just wrapped their arms around me.
Really?
Got to meet Steve Harvey and everybody else in the game. It was just really, it was just a really humbling experience. And really to meet other people who are like, trendsetters and trailblazers in their community. That was awesome. So just to be there, I felt like I won.
You look like you won.
I felt like I won. You couldn't tell me I didn't win. So, it was just a great experience.
That's good. I'm glad you talked about the experience, because a lot of things is not always about what we can gain or be on the spotlight, but it's about going through the experience,
right?
Which is awesome. So congratulations.
Thank
although
you.
I'm maybe a couple of years late, but
that's okay.
Congratulations.
That's all right.
I heard from a little birdie that there is a book in the works.
Yes, there's a book in the works. Actually, the book, I'm so excited, and thank you for asking me about the book.
No problem.
I've been wanting to write a book for a while, and I've been like doing little excerpts of my book. And what I wanted to do was I wanted to write a book for girls of color about etiquette.
Okay.
But I wanted to make it fun. I wanted to make it relevant, and I wanted to make it where our kids could really relate to it. So right now we're in the process. I am working with a wonderful artist. Her name is Lena J. Hopkins, also with Film State Ram. She's actually creating 5 characters for me because I feel like there are 5 different people inside of me. Okay, that's how I feel. And so she's creating these 5 different characters, and these 5 different characters are going to have this adventure about etiquette.
Okay.
And it'll be etiquette tips. It'll be very fun. It's going to be more like it's a book, but it's going to be like a comic book. So the kids are really going to like it. Full color comic book. We're making the 5 different characters out cheating. Lena's going to be mad at me, but I'm going to tell you. It's like the bookworm, because everybody can relate to one of these characters.
Okay.
So we have the bookworm. Then we have the mini-me, which is also a.k.a. the leader. The mini-me, like the mini-me, the leader. And then we have the diva.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we have a character that's doubtful. She's very doubtful. She's not really too sure about herself. And then we also have the character that's over the top sure about herself. And the 5 of them are going to have an etiquette adventure. But as they go through this adventure, the girls are going to learn the do's and don'ts of just basic etiquette.
I love it.
Yeah.
It sounds like it fits you.
I think so.
It's all of you.
I think so.
Now, with how did you overcome, the struggles of not being confident,
Right.
and the struggles of not just feeling, beautiful?
Yeah.
How did you overcome
My
all
grandmother.
that? Just
Bottom
your
line,
grandmother.
every day, this woman told me she loved me.
Yeah.
Every day, this woman told me I was beautiful.
But you didn't believe it, though.
At first, I didn't. But
And
after a while, it was just like, okay, wait a minute. And then I started noticing how people responded to me.
Okay.
So I'm thinking, okay, now you're looking at me a different way.
And the reason, I'm sorry to cut you
No,
off,
you're
but
fine.
the reason why I know we talked about it before, and the reason why I had to go back, because it's just so shocking to me that someone, like, you're in front of me and I feel your energy and it's just really, live. So how is someone like you not feel so comfortable with this lady who's telling you that you are it, and now you're in these ladies' lives, and you're empowering them. So I'm really trying to wrap my head around,
how's that possible?
How?
Yeah, we all have insecurities. Everybody. And some of the most beautiful people are the most insecure. That's just a fact, because we don't see ourselves generally the way everybody else does. So it takes some empowerment of someone else to put inside of you to realize your potential sometimes. And because I was awkward, because my fingers were long and my arms were long and I was taller than everybody else, and I was articulate, so I got accused of talking white. My grandmother said, there's no such thing as talking white. You speak correct English. So all those things, and peer pressure is horrible. So when you're getting all these things at you, it's hard to really believe that your grandmama says you're beautiful. It's hard. So it took some time, and I have to be honest to say that. But I'm telling you, once I got it.
That's it.
I got it.
Yeah.
I got it. So again, I have to reiterate this. Our goal at Grady-Moore, our goal at Miss Ebony's, is to make sure the youth get it as soon as possible. Because if they get it as soon as possible, teenage pregnancy goes down.
Yes.
Drug use goes down. Alcohol abuse goes down. Abusive relationships go down. Beginning to be more focused on your goals and not on what everybody else has to say. All those things come into play, and that's my goal, to make sure that the youth are able to stay focused. So that's what we do at Grady-Moore.
And you're doing an awesome job.
Thank you.
I know. Thank you for watching another episode of Beyond Revealed. I hope that you were encouraged by this story. Keep in mind, by opening up with others, you will prompt them to open up with God. Stay tuned next week for another powerful interview.